and which was like I thought was a
That sounds
clever
hot.
that was a clever title, and but I had the domain, and so I figured, fuck, I'll just use that as my handle for most things, and I have it forwarding to my link tree, and I put all the links to important shit on there, and yeah, so yeah, I'm we may set up a specific to the podcast on Facebook or something, but probably not, considering how most people don't like Facebook or anything Meta anymore. So that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and just made it over on Blue Sky. So
Right on. All right, so we'll move to our next segment. So we're going to end the show because I know politics is so much fun. We're going to end the show with a palate cleanser. But before we get to that, we're going to dive into some social media interactions. I'm going to cut it down. We're running long. We're having a good time on this first ever episode. So I'm going to cut it down to just one topic that I feel like kind of sums up the right and their reactionary type. They're both reactionary politics with limited actual nuance. And and so I'm in a politics group. I won't say the name of the town or whatever, but it's a local politics group that is pretty much all libertarian and MAGA or MAGA adjacent people.
yeah,
I seem to be one of the only, maybe the only, or one of a handful of left leaning people in this group. And so the discussion, as it always does with these folks, came up to the Second Amendment. And Washington State wants to institute a permitting system, which they're, of course, all up in arms about, literally and figuratively. Um, and after I had this exchange with a gentleman about, and it was a respectful exchange, it was an educated exchange, it was just totally, totally on the wrong side of thinking about things in my book.
yeah.
But this guy, he came back to the group and he says somebody shared with him. So before I go further, Todd, are you familiar, without saying too much, are you familiar with the North Carolina governor's race
I am
from this
not.
past cycle?
No.
So it was Democrat Stein versus the Republican. I don't want to spoil this yet,